Alright, we're going to take a closer look at the new Firearms Inventor playing card deck. These are the two prototype decks or sample decks that the printers send us. So I always keep one sealed for the future, and then we'll take a look at this one. This is how I'd find out if our images are good, if the printing is good, if everything lined up, if the edges are good. Really like the box on this one. We went with a more colorful design this time, using the flags from the various inventors that are represented in the deck. And I'm going to redo that and put the American flag where it should be. Got some sample of what the cards look like, so when you're looking at the deck on the shelf or something, hopefully this gives you a good idea of what you got there, or what you're getting. And then sample of the card art. So that's the outside of the box. Very happy, proud to say made in the USA. Having these printed in Texas again. Thanks to people on Patreon who made that possible for me to have the time to do this deck. And then of course the people on Indiegogo who bought the decks, which allowed us to have them made in Texas. So that's what the box is going to end up looking like. It's got the the blueprint from the M16 patent there. It's got the 1911 on one side and a Mac over here. So three of the coolest US guns. We've got two Jokers in this deck, of course, and they're a little unique. Extra credit if you know where these images come from. But it's an example of the 10th century fire lance and the 15th century matchlock. I figured those would be kind of a good contrast with the rest of the deck and still be original. So the card art is pretty cool. I hope it's themed on the actual patents, and hopefully that art is appealing to people. And then of course when we get into the cards themselves, each of the 52 cards is a different inventor. We have full color images of their guns, the countries they come from, their dates that they lived, information about them, and I heard them sort of grouped into the spades. We have the individuals who developed the firearms for the United States. Let's see, the hearts would be the rest of the Americans for the most part, American firearm inventors. Then we have the diamonds and the clubs are everybody else. So other countries, there are some Americans in here as well, but this is most of the other countries. I am USA centric, sorry. So if you're international and you're watching this, deal with it. If you're United States, deal with it. So in each of the suits, they go chronologically from Ace being the oldest to King being the newest, except for a couple of exceptions. I wanted a Gatling gun for the King over here instead of Barrett, just because it's cooler, right? And then same thing here. I kind of played with it a little bit. The oldest one's the oldest, but I kind of play with the back end to keep the Kings cool. And starting with Giordani on this one, and I don't have a picture of him, so it's the only one of the two that we don't have pictures of. And again, international inventors there, and some more in this one. So we're going to take a closer look, I guess, at each of these suits. Why don't we do that in separate videos so this thing doesn't get too long. And again, I want to thank the people on Patreon who give me the time to work on the art and to come up with projects like this that nobody asked for, nobody wanted, but we still wanted to see it happen. And then the people on Indiegogo who literally bought the decks and made it possible for us to not only get these created, which is kind of cool, but made in the USA. So all the money is going to stay here, all the shipping, everything's here. So thanks again. We'll go through and take a look at some of the suits in, I guess, the next couple of weeks in this series. Thanks again, and as always, thanks for watching.